have Dr. Winnie Chan Wang with us, who is a co-author of Honoring Darkness, Embrace Shadow Work to Nourish and Grow Your Power. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this.
I am from Hong Kong originally, so I'm an Asian immigrant. And it's really funny because I have 4 science degrees, right? 2 of them are actually from MIT. And one of them is computer science. Actually, I don't love computers at all. I'm very bad with technology. The reason why I got into it was because I was lost. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I guess a degree in computer science is going to pay my bills, so let's go, you know? But thank goodness I do have this degree in computer science from MIT because I became a hacker. When I gave birth to my second child, unfortunately, I had an accident during my labor. So I think it was too much Pitocin in my body. And for the audience that don't know, Pitocin helps you dilate and, expand to give birth. So my bones are super flexible at that moment, and I'm lying crooked in the hospital bed. So I became crooked. And because my spine is crooked, everything that can hurt hurts. Like my shoulder hurts, my lower back hurts, all the organs are sitting in the wrong place. I can't sit in a chair for 10 minutes. I can't recline and enjoy a movie. I can't recline on the beach chair. It was just like very, very depressing. Last year I had a divorce. My ego was completely crushed because I was like, oh my God, I talk about love and light all the time. And I talk about forgiveness. I talk about compassion, but I felt like a complete fraud because I said, well, how can I bring peace and harmony to my clients' organs? How can I bring that to them when actually my marriage is falling apart and I have all these things going on? And so it was actually another gift. The really traumatic failure of my marriage led me to do the shadow work. Okay, well, let's look at why you have this happening to you.
A lot of us who go into, like physicians who go into integrative and functional medicine, for example, we want to get into the root cause. But I mean, that's still, we're looking at biochemical, we're looking at physical energy here, and we're really not paying attention to the emotional, to the spiritual, to that human right in front of us, because more of the root cause of the issues is exactly what you're talking about. It's the emotional pain that we internalize and hold on to. So I think the way that you're practicing medicine and healing is just so amazing, and we just need more of you.
Even if you're just a self-healer, you want to heal yourself, it's so empowering to know that I'm going to use the word God, but really you can substitute the word for source or universe. What I mean is God/universe is benevolent. We weren't given these UTIs as punishment, right? These are just messages for us to look into.
I wanted to talk about, we know you work with clients and do acupuncture, and you get some downloads with your, when you read as a medical intuitive. So do you do it like all together, or do you kind of do separate consults with each patient?
There's fast food like cheeseburger, like McDonald's, and then there's like 3-course meal, like that takes 3 hours, right? So I really like to take my time with my clients because I don't really like to do fast food healing. So I just do a really, long time. We sit at a desk and we look at your history, on the human realm. So there's I want to take the time to understand as much as possible. I want to make the best of science, and I want to make the best of spirituality. And so I would say it's really literally 50-50. I spend 50% using my scientific brain, and then 50% as a channel to let whatever come through. Yeah.
Do you do like distance healing as well? Okay,
yeah,
so cool.
I do. And it's really funny because one time I had a client, he had an active flare-up of herpes zoster. So it's like a rash and it's painful. And he's taken a course of whatever meds that his doctor gave him, but he's finished the medicine, but the rash is still painful in there. That person lives in Asia, so there's no physical touching of any kind. the rash actually disappeared and the pain disappeared. And I was just like, this is really wild stuff. Like, you can heal rash over the phone.
When you become more connected to your true authentic self, your spiritual self, your higher self, you become more connected to the source, to God. You are able to bring out your gifts, whether it be healing or helping others. I think it really, truly like uplifts your gifts that much more.
It does. And I just wish that people weren't so scared of darkness. Where there's light, there's dark. Light is like the sun and dark is like nighttime. We need rest, we need nighttime. And all that shadow is nighttime. When we think about the shadow, right? The shadow is like the water, the earth. Mother Earth is grounding. So think about, we need to be grounded. We need to be anchored. We need to be nourished. Look at a person and be like, wow, how much peace is in her heart, right? How much forgiveness or compassion, how authentic is that person? Like, we don't ask these things that you can't see on a resume, you know?
The foundations courses and all the program courses that we come out with is a lot of meditation and sitting with yourself and surrendering and letting go. And, you know, I think that is one of the hardest thing for people, because it's so hard to sit with the darkness and feel through the pain.
So it's actually a little bit dangerous to sit through the darkness. And remember that I said, okay, on one side, we have love and light. I got this. I'm worthy of love, you know, wow, wow, wow. But then on the other hand, when we sit with our darkness, it's very easy to get lost in that dark tunnel. So what's important to do shadow work is to not do it alone. That's really, really important, you know, when we have to face our grief, our fear, our shame, you know, our anger, all of this stuff that we don't do it ourselves. So there's 3 ways to safely do shadow work. One is with a traditional talk therapist, because, you know, the talk therapist is able to listen to you and hold space for you. And then the second is in a group setting, and we plan to have, you know, like a group Zoom. And then the third safe way to do shadow work is if your spiritual channels are open and you can do it, you know, with the spiritual guides.
I've never felt comfortable in a huge group talking about a lot of my issues that I'm working through, you know, right now, but it would be interesting to connect with other people. I think that's an interesting way to see it.
So another secret way of healing in a group, Anna, is even if you don't personally say, like, let's say, oh, I'm not ready to tell the world that I have this. But if somebody else in the group say it, then you're like, oh, you know, that's me, that's me. So in some ways, it's much more powerful than individual therapy, right? Because you have like 24 people sharing what they're ashamed about. So if somebody is ashamed about having an abortion and you're too ashamed to share that, well, when they're sharing, you can heal by listening to their story.
I've been dealing with this chronic pain. I had it a few years ago. It's really a lot less than it was. Oh my gosh, it was excruciating, full body pain, right? I developed this shock from mandatory influenza vaccine, you know, in the healthcare world. And I just, things started coming to me when I was reading this book and kind of associating my pain with some of the situations that are going on in my life. And I'm like, man, you know, what if I do take the leap?
You know, I have actually treated tons and tons of post-COVID vaccine reaction symptoms, and all of them just take like one session, and it's really incredible. What I tell people is this: it doesn't matter if you believe the vaccine is good or not good, works or don't work, but if you're gonna take it, you gotta love it, okay? Because if you go in with, I don't want to take the vaccine, your body will fight the vaccine. It will generate an allergic reaction to the vaccine. And I have had women who started bleeding every day. I've had women whose one breast just swollen up. You know, I've had people with palpitations who will go to ER because of the vaccine. But all of them is just one session. I just tell them, okay, do you want to be right about the vaccine, or do you just want all the symptoms to go away? And they said, I just want all the symptoms to go away. I said, good. Okay, so you better start loving the vaccine, because the vaccine is already in your body.
What else, I mean, do you want to talk about that we didn't touch base in the book, and I mean, what else we can offer to our audience today?
I'd like to offer a blessing to bless you, Anna, and also all of the people who are listening. So for anybody who wants to receive a free blessing to open their heart, all they have to do is close their eyes. And let's take 3 deep breaths together. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. One last time. Inhale. And exhale. Now silently say your name to heaven 3 times. And then make a request. It could be lower back pain. It could be your finances, your relationships, one area in your life or one part of your body that needs healing right